Hi friends, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. In this video, we will learn some of the HTML5 input types that are available. Up to now, we have seen the native form controls that are available in HTML. So these are not, what are the things we have learned about this input type is equal to text, checkbox, radio button, hidden variable password. These all things are not, these all things are available in all the HTML browsers itself. But when the HTML5 was introduced, another some variety of input types has also been introduced in this HTML5. So let's try to learn some of them. So here I am creating another file, HTML5 input types. Okay, so .html. So let's add this code snippet. So I am adding a form here. So the first HTML5 input type, so that is available is this most commonly email address field. So normally what we'll try to do, so let's try to add a form label. Okay, so I am adding a form label. In this one we are having a form label. I am using the email, so email, and here I will be adding some input type. Normally what we will try to do is input type is equal to text, id is equal to email, and the name is equal to email. If you want to use that's it. So if you want to use, you can use the value. So this is normally using this native form controls type input type text, we can use it. If I try to see the output in the browser, okay, here we'll be able to see this email and we can write whatever we want and we can also submit it. So for example, let's try to add a button. So here I'll be adding a button, so which is by default, if you don't mention anything, it is a submit button for this button, whereas for the input type is equal to submit, we need to mention it for the input thing. So if I try to submit it here, so everything is submitting, right? But what is the special kind of this one is, so now this email is not a valid email, right? So this is not a valid email. So that means the text attribute, the input type is equal to text, will take all the type of data. So now what I want is, so it needs to have such a situation that it should take the valid email ID only. So for this scenario, HTML5 introduced a new one, that is nothing but input type is equal to email. So when you add this input type is equal to email, it will just behave like a text box only. Whereas taking whatever text it will want, it will take the valid email address. For example, if I try to add something and if I try to submit it, so it will throw an HTML error, that is nothing but please include @. So we need to include @. So now if you try to see it here, so it's incomplete. So like this, we can add the correct email ID so that this valid email address will be submitted. So this is the use of this input type is equal to email. So all the people will be using when they want to add email address in the form means, so they will be using input type is equal to email attribute. And the another thing is so for example, if you want to add multiple emails, so let's say that a@b.com comma b@b.com. So these are the comma oriented multiple values if I want to submit means. So here you are getting an error that, so comma, these all things are not allowed. So it's correct. So here this concept is, it will take only one email ID by default. If you want to take multiple email IDs, comma oriented means you can use multiple. So when you use this multiple option, now it will try to take, so if you give invalid email address, so it is telling that it's not valid. So now if I try to give single one, it will take it, not a problem. For example, if I try to do second email ID comma oriented, but second email ID I have given it wrong means, it will try to give the error. So if I try to submit a@b.com something like this, so two email IDs are there, it will try to submit it. So this is how, so in the multiple email IDs when we are trying to do and we are trying to give multiple means, it will try to check the valid email address for the two options, which is separated by a comma. So this is all about this email address thing. For example, let's say that if you try to see here, I have given something like a@b. Okay, now whether this one is valid or not, according to this one, it's a valid. What it will try to do is, most of the times it will try to consider it's the intranet email IDs. It will try to take the intranet email IDs also, which doesn't have .com like that. So because of that reason, so you will be having a@b, these all things also, it will be accepted. If you want to have more fine granule of validations and all those things means, we need to use the pattern attribute. So we'll try to see about this pattern attribute after when we are trying to see the client side validations. So this is all about this what I can say email thing. So it will try to check the valid email ID only, or otherwise it will not see those all the things, something like whether the email ID is existing in the database or not. These all things it will not check. Those all things should be done by the server, from the server end only. But whereas this basic email type validations, we can use this input type is equal to email, and also the multiple type or multiple also it will be taken. Multiple email address also it will be accepted. So the next one what we can do is another one is the search. Okay, so here if we try to take, let's try to see the label. Okay, I am taking this label. Sorry. Here we will be having a search. Let's say that we are having a search, and the for attribute is the search. I will try to copy this one, and here I will give. So here I will be using the search. So there will be no multiple option for this one. So what is this search? The search field is used to create the search boxes. Whenever we are having in the e-commerce page or something like that, you will be having a search box, right, to search for a product or to search for anything. So for those things we will be using this input type is equal to search. What is the usage of this one? So if you try to see HTML, so now it will understand that this is for search. When you are trying to type something, so it will give some close icon. So here it will be in the close icon at the right side corner of the text box, so that when you click on this one, automatically the search will be cleared. So this is somewhat convenient feature provided by the HTML, so that when you try to provide this search thing, so it will provide the close icon, something like that. Okay, so this is the, and also in what I can say in this mobile devices and all those things, it will try to give the magnifying glass icon. These all the things also you'll be able to see it. When you try to provide, it is a type is equal to search. When you provide type is equal to text and all those things, means these type of features will not be available when you are trying to see in the mobile devices and all those things. So it will behave like a normal text box only. But whereas if you provide a search, so some features will be introduced, like closing icon in the browser, and in the modern browsers also it will try to give some autocomplete that whatever you have searched previously. So these all things features will be available. And also in the mobile devices and touch devices, you'll be able to see a magnifying icon, so that he can move wherever he want. So these are all the features that will be provided by the search. So normally where we will be using this one is, so whenever you want to search for anything in the website, so it's like products or anything, so for user or anything, you can use this search option. So the another one is what I want to tell you is the phone number field. So this is also one of the important things. So whenever you are trying to take the phone number from the user, so we can use this option. So phone number, that is nothing but we'll be using this type is equal to tell operator. Let's try to use this one. Phone, I'm using phone here, and here we need to use this tell operator. Sorry, tell attribute value. Now when you try to take this tell attribute, so here you will be able to see the text box. This will take the phone numbers. Now you can say that whether it will take a numeric or alphabets. So right now, so what it will be having is, because the world we cannot assume that what type of phone numbers are existing around the world. So this doesn't have any restrictions or anything. So it will accept all the words. But you need to understand that. So this is the for taking the phone number, we use the tell thing. Well, in the mobile devices or in the something like that, so whenever the user clicks on that one, only the numeric keypad will be opened. So because of that reason, so we can use this tell operator instead of opening this alphabet and all those things. So tell operator, if you try to use it, the numeric keypad will be open in the Android or iOS screens, so apps like that. So because of this, what I can say is the variety of phone numbers formats are available around the world, right? Because of that reason, so this does not force any constraints or any validations for that one. It will allow all the things. For example, if you try to submit, so here the phone number is trying to submit it because of this reason. If you want to have separate, what I can say is specific validations and all this means as we already discussed, we use the pattern thing. We'll try to discuss that one later in the client side validations. So now the next one what we want to discuss is the URL field. So here if we try to see, here I will be having URL. So I am using this URL. Let's try to make it as URL. So as the name itself, you will be able to understand that URL means, so it will take the URL. So the website address, the website address, whatever it is available, it will try to take it. Now you need to mention it as a type is equal to URL. Now if I try to mention, so whenever you are using www.google.com, So this is a URL, right? So this one will not submit. So it will tell you that please enter a valid URL. Why? Because when you provide HTTP colon this one only, then only it will be a well-formed URL. It will consider it as a well-formed URL. Whatever the thing you submitted, it will not consider. So it will check for this HTTP colon. So if no protocol, so this is called as a protocol. If no protocol is entered, then the URL will be considered as an not valid. So for example, if I mention this one something like, let's try to see whether it is a correct or not, it will take it or not. So it is taking. So well-formed URL it should to have, protocol it need to have. So this is all about this URLs thing. So URL it will try to take the correct URL, well-formed URL, and phone number tell operator just like the text box only, whereas in the touchscreen devices or Android device, iOS devices, it behaves in a different way. So the phone number and the search means, so you already see when you are searching for anything in the website, we can use this input type is equal to search. And the another thing what we have learned is this input type is equal to email. So these are some of the HTML5 input types that are available in the HTML. So these are some of the most used this HTML input types. Input type is equal to email, type is equal to search, type is equal to tell for the phone number, type is equal to URL for the well-formed URL. So in the next video, we'll try to see some of the more HTML5 input types that are available. Hope you understood about these the four different input types. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.